For the past 6 years, I've been living on only about $400 per month. Now this might sound impossible to you, because I live in Norway, which is one of the most expensive countries in the world. But I've had a great time during those years, and I didn't really feel like I was missing anything. So in this video I'm going to share with you how I am able to live on so little money and have a great life at the same time. So you may be wondering why I would choose to live such a poor life. Well, I think richness really depends on what you value the most. And I personally value having a lot of freedom and time, much more than having a lot of money. So instead of having to work a 9-to-5 job to pay for all my basic necessities that cost a lot of money, I would rather live more simply and have the freedom and the time to actually work on the things that I want to do and the things that I think are important. Not needing so much money is also great for security, because you know you can always take care of yourself and get by, even if you don't have a stable income. And this is especially great if you're still looking for your dream job or the thing you want to do in your life, because getting there might take quite a few years. And if you need to make a lot of money in the beginning, it's really hard to focus on actually getting there and actually building up your dream income. Now I'm going to share with you my 5 main strategies for living on very little money while having a great time. So the first one is housing. For most people, housing is their number one expense, and this includes rent, mortgage and any other expenses that you have to pay to be able to live somewhere. During the past 6 years, I have lived on a small sailboat, in a cabin with no heating, and even in a treehouse. And by sacrificing a little bit of comfort, you can gain so much time and freedom to do the things you love, because you don't have to spend so much money on your living expenses. Some other ways you can live for cheap are by sharing a house with roommates, or living in a van or a tiny house, or by doing a work exchange where you work for rent. The second strategy is to do it yourself. If you learn the skills to maintain and repair your stuff and to take care of yourself, you can save a lot of money on hiring someone to do it for you. Some examples are cutting your own hair. I hope I did an okay job here. Cooking your own food, especially if you also grow or forage some ingredients yourself. And for example, replacing your phone's screen if it breaks. I've done it many times, it's pretty easy to do. So of course, all of this requires some skill, but once you've learned the skill, you can also use it to help others. So it's actually really useful. My third strategy is to buy second hand and to buy quality. Almost everything I own I've bought used. So for example, all my clothes I've bought used, except for the underwear. Most of my electronics I've bought used, and most of my furniture I even got for free because people are just giving it away. And of course it can be a little bit sketchy sometimes to buy stuff used, but so far I've never had any bad experiences with it. If you buy used, you can also buy higher quality for a lower price, which means that you don't have to buy things over and over again, and hopefully the products will last for a long time. 2 other huge benefits of buying used are that it's really good for the environment, and you can often sell the same thing again for the same price that you bought it for, since usually the value doesn't go down very much if you've bought it used in the first place. Number 4 is to create instead of consuming. Nowadays it's very easy to consume stuff or entertainment or to buy an experience, but I think it's a lot more fun and a lot more satisfying to actually create it yourself, either alone or with other people. A lot of the best experiences in life are for free anyway. The 5th strategy is a big one, and it's about transport. If you own a car, you're going to spend a lot of your days working to pay for it. So if at all possible, just bike around or use public transport, or even simply walk. Now, if you want to travel longer distances, it's always a good idea to book very, very early, because then you get the best prices. Another great thing about bicycling and walking everywhere is that you also get exercise at the same time. So it's both healthy and it saves you money. So in conclusion, is this for everyone? I definitely don't think so, because it really depends on what you prioritize in your life and what you value the most. I think a lot of people would rather just simply have a job and have a stable income, and they would feel more secure and more free that way. But personally, me and I think a lot of other people might prefer to actually not have a stable income and rather have a stable freedom and a stable amount of free time. You gotta get a little bit uncomfortable if you want to live this way, but I think that's a really, really good thing, because the more uncomfortable you are on a day-to-day basis, the more used you get to discomfort, and the less uncomfortable you actually get in the long run. So if you keep living in an uncomfortable way, after a while you don't really notice it anymore and it's completely fine. And then you suddenly have so many more options in life. If you would like to learn more about these strategies or other things I do, please write a comment down below, and I'll try to either reply in the comments or I might even make a video about it. So thanks for watching, and subscribe if you're interested in more.